by telling a story from when I was a paramedic. I've been a paramedic for 20 years. I'm no longer working in the field, and I've got tons and tons and tons of really good stories. I do want to say that everyone should be kind in the comments and kind because sometimes we will be talking about things that patients do and say that are kind of funny. And the first story that I want to tell you is a story that I like to call, well, let's just call it Shoot Yeah! Okay, and this was a gentleman who we were called to a warehouse, and he had taken some substances, and he was not in any physical or medical danger at that time, but he wasn't acting normally, which could be a lot of things. He could be having a stroke, he could be still under the influence of something. I didn't, but we were trying to get some history from him, and one of the things is maybe asking his name. Does he know where he is? Things like that. And he just kept saying, well, I'll just say, "Shoot yeah!" But it wasn't shoot yeah. It was, I think you know what it was. Anyway, um, when you go into the hospital with a patient, the hospital really likes to have a name and an address and a social security number and a birth date so they can verify who they're dealing with, get a medical history, and deal with them appropriately. They don't really like it when the ambulance comes in and you can't tell them anything. You can't say their name is or their birth date is. Something minimal at least. Well, the only thing I could say was, "Shoot, yeah." That wasn't really helpful. So the whole time he was just yelling, "Shoot ya" at me the whole trip. So I walk into the hospital emergency room and I know I'm going to get an earful. And I go over to the desk and I smile. And they really learned that the bigger my smile was, the less information I had for them. It's true. So I walked over and registration came and asked me, "Well, what's your patient's name?" And I said, "Well, um, I would spell the first name SHI, and then would spell this last name YAH." And she looked at the paper and she said, "No, this doesn't make sense." And I smiled and I said, "I know." So she gave me a dirty look and she walked over to the patient and she said, "Hello, sir. How are you doing today? What's your name?" And he said, "Shit, yeah."